It's the 8:05 post-show finals day from the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach. Stop 2, the World Surf League Championship Tour, and another epic day in competitive surf history being made today at Sunset Beach. I'm Kuiper Girl, along with Felicity Palmentier, Jesse Mendez. I'm going to start with you, Flick. Ladies first. Wow.
Oh, just my jaws to the floor once again. We were provided with such beautiful waves for finals day, just like what we were at Pipeline. The same things happened here at Sunset. The waves were the hero, and the surfers showed up and blew up.
Yeah, showed up and blew up, and new levels of performance both on the men's and women's side, Jesse.
Yeah, and it seems to amaze me because it's such a hard wave to perform, like high performance type of surfing, and they delivered that all day long. And not to mention, conditions were perfect the last 2 days, so that helped as well for them to just push the level once again.
A big delivery in the way of Jack Robinson, 18.04 heat total for Robinson, and a win here at Sunset Beach. Let's hear from Jack.
Yeah, Kaipo, Jack down here just soaking in the moment. This is your 6th win on the CT, but your first as a dad. What kind of meaning does that bring to this moment?
Super special, Zen's first win. No, it's really, really amazing. Like, I don't know, just this trip to Hawaii and yeah, just everything. I don't know, that was a special moment, just the whole thing, the final, the families here, like just the whole team, and yeah, it was, I'm kind of just still soaking it in, so you didn't always have the words to describe it, but it's like such a special feeling. So yeah, I'm really grateful.
Another special feeling I have to imagine in that final, the 9.87. What was going through your mind when you saw the potential that wave had to offer?
Oh yeah, I knew it was a good one. Kanoa looked at me and I just sat there. I just sat there and waited, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. And then I didn't go straight away. I guess I was just so focused on myself. So, you know, didn't really matter what else was going on, and I was just trying to surf and enjoy the moment, but really cool to share the final with Kanoa.
Speaking of the moment, that wave gave you 2 of them, 2 barrels on that wave. Has that ever happened to you before?
Oh, the gift keeps on giving, huh? No, I didn't know I was going to do it twice. I was just like, no expectations, and then boom, just 2 barrels. I was like, okay, it's going to be a big score. So, yeah, I know the year didn't start out like I planned at Pipe, but better late than never, you know, start it now. So.
I want to ask you about that start at Pipe. I know it was so far from what you expected of yourself to start this 2024. How did you bounce back to win here at the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach?
Yeah, I guess, you know, like, I was still, it kind of hit me hard. Like, I was still kind of living that one, like, oh, I lost, you know, but I was like, oh, it's the past. Like, let's go and make your luck out here, you know, and just go surf. I feel like, yeah, when I put it together, you know, it's incredible. So, yeah, that came together the way I wanted it to, and super stoked. Let's enjoy it.
On to Portugal with the #2 spot in the world. How do you build on this?
We got #1. John? Okay, all right. Me and Johnny, new dad coming. Yeah, John. Congrats. Let's go work.
There you go. We'll see you in Portugal. Congratulations.
Love it. Okay, see you guys soon.
Hey, it's going to be a great year, and I look forward to more of those battles. You know, he's already knows by the numbers who his the most fierce opponent for Jack Robinson. Clearly, he just already got in his head. It's going to be John Florence.
Oh, for sure. And it's really cool to see Jack so fired up. Sometimes he can be very reserved and just very level-headed and not really let that show, but we really saw it there. And yeah, Portugal's going to be fireworks, I think.
He called him out, like, straight up. And then he was like, oh, he's a new dad. But like the first, like, who's first?
Yeah.
He was like a flaxon John right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, and you know, and Jack is so calm throughout when he gets into competition mode, but then you see kind of the emotions come out after the fact. So congratulations, Jack Robinson. Let's take a look how he got there and the final bracket for the men. Start off this morning with quite a challenge. Italo Ferreira on to Ryan Callahan. So you had to get through a couple of goofy foots before finally Felicity having to face up against a former champ in the way of Kanoa Igarashi. We'll take a look at all the action here. Flick starting off this morning and Jack's road to the final.
Yeah, Jack just once again finding barrels when no one else was finding them. He's just no more words. I mean, he's just got this. This one here was really impressive to me. This was straight off the takeoff, and you usually don't see barrels like that at Sunset. Usually it's on that inside section where it really does throw over a lot more. So for Jack to just take off on that wave and be like, right, I need to score, let's go, was super impressive. And yeah, he's just so connected to this wave, and yeah, being able to have that ability to find those barrels is really impressive.
Jesse?
I mean, I think Flick already basically mentioned everything, just how he was able to bounce back every heat and just better himself. Like, basically, he set the scale on the quarters, broke himself on the semis and on the finals, just getting better and better. And every time he was laying more on rail and pushing harder, which that's what you expect on the finals day. Like, improve every heat, and that's what he did. It was incredible to watch. And not to mention, Kanoa also had a very good of a day. It's just, unfortunately right there, how the priority exchange happened, and he ended up getting that special wave that we just saw with the double barrel.
Yeah, I think what was most impressive to me was Jack's transitions between his turns and his ability to read so quickly that this was going to barrel, duck up underneath, and then even here, this was like a millisecond, and like a fraction of a second to just decide, okay, no, I'm getting back under the lip here, it's barreling again. I mean, and Jack even said, I've never been barreled on that inside section twice like that, but he did come up against a really informed Kanoa, and I like what you said, Jesse, about, you know, maybe if Kanoa hadn't gone so big on that that 3.8, that he might have actually, the flow in the heat would have changed. But yeah, he was just no match for Jack. It was Jack's day, and he was just, really in form.
Both Jack and Kanoa bouncing back from equal 17ths at Pipe. They were eliminated in the round of 32. Not the case here at Sunset. Both made it to the finals. But Jack Robinson, those numbers, they're gigantic. A 9.87, an 8.17 backup. That is one for the record books when we talk about Sunset finals and Sunset final performances. Great stuff. Well, you know what? The women, they did the same thing out there. Big numbers come through, and the new star performers, Molly Picklum Flick, she goes back to back.
Yeah, she does. And that like she said in that post-heat interview with AJ, going back to back is a hard thing to do in our sport because the conditions change so much. You've got Mother Nature there, which is a major variable. She said that, you know, obviously Tyler had done that at Bells, and she just thought, how hard is that to do? Like, is that really going to happen today? But, I mean, she had a stacked draw. I mean, she came up against Lakey, who in that quarterfinal, Lakey had been on fire up until then. Lakey had been dropping excellent scores, but man, Molly just proving that I feel like she's really worked on her rail game and also her commitment, and that was really evident in the quarterfinal all the way through to that semi-final, especially with Risa.
Yeah, just so informed and so smart. Look at that rail game right there, just on point and just making smart decisions, getting good waves, actually going huge on this turn right here. That's a 10-foot face right there, and she just literally hit the lip. That might have been the best turn ever on the woman's side.
Yeah.
Out here at Sunset, 100%.
9.67 for that turn, and that one's going to be one for the record book. That led her into the final up against Betty Lou Sakura Johnson. Flick, whoever won this final gets the yellow jersey.
Yeah, and this was a really cool rematch of the semi-final that everyone was talking about at Pipeline, where Molly got the jump on Betty. And I know Betty was so hungry to get this win right. Betty actually had that highest single wave score of a 717 in this. Just unfortunately, she couldn't find the backup. And Molly was able to get to town, really improve on that backup. And so this one I feel like is going to sting for Sakura but Molly just really, really making the most of this final. And yeah, super special for her to go back to back.
Yeah, and I think actually Betty Lou was the most informed surfer on the women's side on this event, but on the finals right there, just Molly being a little bit smarter and making it count.
There you go. Molly Picklum back-to-back here at Sunset. You can see the numbers there. Note that Sakura did have the highest single wave score, just searching for that backup. But congratulations to Picklum. Can't wait to see these two go at it all year long. And speaking of Molly Picklum, let's hear from the back-to-back Sunset champ, Molly. She's with AJ.
Yeah, Joey, Molly coming in, sinking in that here you are, the back-to-back champ at Sunset. I know going into that final against Betty Lou, you knew you had to be on your game. What was your strategy to keep her at bay, get the win today?
I mean, what a moment. Defending a title is just like so hard in our sport because the ocean is in charge and yeah, just there. Obviously Betty Lou had such a good wave and that's why it's scary. She's so capable of them like in her sleep, you know. So yeah, the ocean just played its part for me and I'm really happy it did that.
And Molly, when I think about the moments you've already had in this 2024, it started at Pipe with a 10 and a finals, and now here you are at Sunset Beach with a massive turn, an iconic turn, dare I say, and a finals win. How do you feel like you are just building momentum at each stop?
Yeah, I think every event feels different, so just taking it for what it is and enjoying it and just trying to find the little fun moments in between it all, because I definitely wasn't as confident in this event. I felt like I'd had some trouble just like trying to get the rail in and it was a really tricky event for me for confidence wise, but I always kept belief and I think that's one of my strengths, that I kind of always believe no matter what, and yeah, that's why you gotta just keep on believing.
How does this win help that belief?
Yeah, I mean, of course winning twice, it's definitely, you gotta back yourself for sure.
Anything you want to say to friends and fans back home in Australia?
Absolutely. Thanks so much, guys. I hope you're all partying by now. It's probably after lunch, and I love you all. I really appreciate the support, and it's just the start of the year, but we did really well here in Hawaii, and I'm stoked to come home soon.
That you did. Molly, you did really good in Hawaii. What do we say? 10 at Pipe, runner-up finish there, wins over here, top of the rankings going into stop number 3. Molly Picklum, I mean, it's early in the season. Is she a pick for a potential world title?
Yeah, and I actually thought that at the very beginning of the year. I just think last year, obviously Molly made that final 5, but since then, I just feel like she looks stronger. She looks even. She knows what it takes now to make that final 5, and yeah, that momentum she had at Pipe was incredible, and to be able to continue that here, that's a very hard thing to do. It's a long year though, so we'll see.
It is a long year, but the year starting off really, and by the way, Jesse, I just want to point out the fact that this has been one of the more spectacular starts to a championship tour year that we've seen in a long time in both Pipe and Sunset.
Yeah, it's incredible. I think we had 2 amazing days at Pipe, which, you know, it's like, as far as those waves are very consistent, but it's tricky on a gap of like 10 days window or 12 days window here for Hawaii for you to get 4 good days, and we had it there and we had it here. The last 2 days here have been incredible, and it's just starting special, and I hope we keep that luck going throughout the year.
I hope so too. And you know what was incredible? Well, we're going to go through this incredible moment because it's the cup noodle wave of the day. Check this out. Talk about courage and talk about commitment, Flick.
Oh, it doesn't get any more committed, any more consequential than that moment right there. 9.67 for Molly Picklum on one manoeuvre on this wave. You can see from this angle just how thick that lip was. This is, we're talking about 10 foot worth of face on that wave that she just went up and absolutely destroyed.
I don't recall it ever seeing a single turn get rewarded that high. We've seen airs, obviously, but just keeping the board on the water and getting that rewarded, that just show how critical that turn was.
Yeah, that was. We saw it in slow motion. It got completely disconnected, and the consequences. We talked about that in the heat. Like, if she were to go down on that wave, that would have been a world of hurt.
Yeah, we could see how thick that lip was. The wave height was so big, and I mean, she even said it herself. She was like, I was either going to make that or I was going to die. Look, it was just so consequential, and I spoke to Molly earlier pre this event. She said, yeah, I just excel in these waves and I just love it because I just love the challenge.
Yeah. Well, Molly Picklum is at the top of the women's rankings, but let's check out the whole list and see where we stand going into stop number 3. Caitlin Simmers hangs on to that number 2 spot. Sakura, strong Hawaii bid in at number 3. There's our top 10, Jesse.
Yeah, this is looking stacked. On the women's side, always very tight because they obviously have less people inside. So the battle for top 5 is going to be crazy. And also just the mid-season cuts is not going to be easy for them.
So Katie Simmers, number 2 in the rankings, heading into Portugal. But this is a place that she likes. Super Tubos flick. Taking a look back at last year where Katie Simmers was the champ of the male Rip Curl Pro.
Yeah, and this was her first event, first career win, and it was just so impressive to see. As a first year on tour, I mean, obviously she's been a phenom. She's been someone that we've been talking about for a long time. And I was shocked actually that she got a win so quickly. It was the third event of the year. I thought, you know, sometimes it might take her a little bit to find her feet, but no, she proved me wrong, and I'm here for it.
I'm here for it too. Katie Simmers, a phenom. Remember, at this event, she had a hard time even hoisting up the trophy. It was so big. There's a moment with Pops right there. Chair up to the beach. And Katie Simmers, we're looking forward to the return. Stop number 3 over at Portugal. We're going to have more talk about that, but let's make everything official here at Sunset Beach. For that, let's go to Joe Turpel for our presentation.
Thank you so much, Kaipo. Thanks, everybody, for coming down. You guys are incredible, the best fans in the world. What a leg we had in the Hawaiian leg of the tour, from Pipeline to here at the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach. Stop number 2 of the World Surf League Championship Tour. And it's such a big part of our title race, our whole season, and how important this wave is for pro surfing. It's absolutely incredible. When you think about a wave with this kind of longevity, the great Duke Kahanamoku had an invite event back here through the 60s that was so prestigious just to be a part of, let alone win, as Jeff Hackman won way back in the day as a 17-year-old. And returning to the tour as a championship tour event, we've had world titles decided on the sand from Andy Irons to CJ Hobgood, and also runs and dynasties by Lane Beachley, who won this event back-to-back 2 separate occasions in her career. Also the great Lynn Boyer, Margot Oberg, and now we get to see who can really master this lineup with power, and especially when the ocean gets big, which is what we saw this year. Big waves, challenging waves, and give it up to all the surfers that put on great performances for us. They put their heart and soul into this job to fight for a title, and then to fight to be the undisputed world champion at the end of the season. We are so grateful to kick off the tour here in Hawaii, the birthplace of He'enalu, as a cultural practice and a competitive sport. We'd like to mahalo first and foremost Kanaka Mo'oli, as well as the Kama'aina, who for generations have embodied the true aloha spirit, sharing and perpetuating surfing while stewarding the oceans and coastlines for everybody to enjoy. Mahalo to Hawaii, this beautiful North Shore community, and to all those who have come before, hear us today, and bringing us together all through surfing. Thank you so much. Right on. You guys can get behind it. Yeah, for sure. Special thanks to Kumu Hinale Moana Wong for leading the opening ceremony and blessing for the competition. Thank you to the city and county of Honolulu, the state of Hawaii, the North Shore community again for sharing us this beautiful wave. And a lot of locals love this spot no matter what size, where it breaks. Thank you for allowing the world's best to take it on this week. Big thanks to Hurley, our title partner of this event. Also Yeti, Lexus, 805 Beer, Red Bull, Shiseido, Bonsoi, Hawaii Tourism, Cup Noodles, Spectrum Hawaii, Pura Vida, Mananalu Water, Pacifico, True Surf, Eventbrite, and Kokomo. Give a round of applause for all the support for this great event. Our trophies are handcrafted by a local Oahu artist, Tanya Brown, using repurposed surfboards to sustainably showcase and celebrate the power of Paumalu, or Sunset Beach, in Olelo, Hawaii. We'd also like to thank Lulu Leis and Bouquets for their beautiful lei we're about to present with these trophies. And to help us, we've got some great people up here with me. On the far end, Travis Logie, WSL Senior Manager of Tours and Competition, and one of the quickest surfers on tour in his day. Thanks so much, Travis. Let's hear it for Travis. Well done, my friend. Kayla Durden, longtime pro surfer, WSL Coordinator of Tours and Competition. Kayla, you do so many great things. Loving all the work you do, especially through the Rising Tides, which everyone gets to participate in. Thanks so much. Let's hear it for Kayla. Now let's get to our champions, making the final now for this man, the second time in his career on an absolute roll of understanding the challenges of Sunset Beach. Let's hear it for your men's runner-up, Kanoa Igarashi. Kanoa representing Japan on tour. showing up in another big final at Sunset Beach. Kanoa, it's been really cool seeing your growth in Hawaii and throughout your career. You put so much time and dedication in. What does it mean for you to see the results coming your way at some of the most challenging venues on tour?
Yeah, I mean, growing up in California, Hawaii was, just one flight away, and it was the place where we had to come and to train. And back when I was younger, I would dread coming over, and it'd be really scary to be on the North Shore and surf these bigger waves. But over the years, I just tried to put as much time as I can possible. And, I have a really good team in my corner, and thanks to them, they've always pushed me. And I knew that if I wanted to be a top surfer on tour, I'd have to get good results here. So I'm really happy with my start so far this year, and I just want to keep it going.
Accomplishing so much, making it into the final, especially getting past big names and favorites at this wave. Jordy Smith and your longtime childhood rival of Griffin Colapinto. I could pick a favorite for myself. What about for you? What stands out? What are you most proud of?
Honestly, I'm really proud of just this result that I had, and just where my head was at. I had a really hard 2023, and I barely made the cut. I barely made any heats. So, to go from that to be able to come into the second event of this year with a final, I'm just really proud of myself. And there's a lot of times last year where I kind of
almost kicked off third in the world, and then making the final here at Sunset Beach, 9-1-7 in the early round, getting a lot from the panel, getting barreled as well at Sunset Beach. What's really standing out to you from such an incredible last couple days?
Yeah, it's been an unreal last couple of days. We've been so fortunate to get good waves. But yeah, really just blessed to be home and to represent home, and really just be here at home ground and have my coach be behind me and supporting me and giving me the confidence that I needed throughout this event.
This is a serious game-changing moment in pro surfing from what we saw you do on finals day at Pipe, for seeing this youth charge and a total generational shift that you're a massive part of. How does that feel to be changing surfing in 2024?
Yeah, it's pretty unreal. Me and Molly talked about it literally like 2 years ago when we first qualified on tour. But yeah, really we're doing it, and I'm really happy to be a part of it, and to hopefully, we'll keep pushing this level, and it will be a new level of women's surfing the next couple of years. So yeah, we're gonna do it.
Congratulations, Betty Lou. Enjoy the moment.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you, Mom, Dad, everyone that supported me from a little girl growing up here. It means the world. And yeah, I made it to the podium. Hopefully we can be one more in front, but it'll happen one day.
Betty Lou Sakura Johnson, runner-up, the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach. And now this man from WA has always had a special connection, not just with Sunset Beach, with the North Shore of Oahu. They get from there, a lot of big changes. And how you feeling?
Big ones, huh? But it's, yeah, my little guy's here. He was watching today. Special day. And yeah, I just want to thank everybody that supports me, everybody that's here with me. The family's here. Kanaka Solutions, you guys have got me back. Stoked. Thanks, Kimo and all the boys. Man, actually as well, a different topic, like Andy's board, I had one from Eric, and this morning I had it on my lap, and I was like, kind of talking to it, and I was like, oh, what would Andy do out there? And then he's like, just go frickin' surf, man. And I was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna go do. And super stoked and grateful for this moment, and yeah, thank you, Sunset.
Wow. That was absolutely magical. I have to ask you about that near 10 that you almost got double barrel with that crazy carve to start. I mean, that was one of those waves that we'll never forget. How did it feel for you?
Yeah, it was special. I knew even before it came, and I was just looking at it coming in, and I was like, okay, now I go. And then, yeah, it lined up, and I mean, I wasn't even expecting that, and that's when the best things happen sometimes, so.
How good does it feel to have a buddy like Kanoa that you've known since you were a little kid in the final with you?
Yeah, man, we grew up together since the beginning doing this, so to share a final with him, and hopefully there's a lot more to come, was really special, and we've come a long way, so I'm stoked to be up here and keep the journey rolling, man.
Number 2 in the world heading into Portugal, Jack. Enjoy every moment. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Jack Robinson, your champion, number 2 in the world, heading into Europe where he finaled last year. And now let's hear it for your champion, runner-up at Pipeline, back-to-back titles here at the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach, Molly Picklum. Molly Picklum got her first 10 of her career in the semifinal at Pipeline with Betty Lou in that matchup. And how cool is this?
Yeah, I mean, what an honor to be here, and back-to-back is hard. I feel like it's the ocean, Sunset particularly, it's a tricky wave, and yeah, to go back-to-back, it's honestly unbelievable.
There's these moments that we've now experienced in back-to-back finals days where you just rise to this level, you're 10 before the final, with all this hype running your way and adrenaline. It kind of happened the same way with that single turn that almost got a 10 all the way into that final heat. How does that feel to have that kind of momentum when an event title's on the line?
Yeah, I think the whole momentum thing, it's like you're literally surfing a few heats in a day, so hopefully you are taking learnings out of each one and getting better and better. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of take it for what it is if I make the heat, and then try and do a bit better, so then makes it more entertaining, get bigger scores, and get more trophies.
I always reference the moment when you talked about Betty Lou and your eyes lit up, and you said she pushes you so much to do your best type of surfing, asking her about this game-changing moment in women's surfing history, and we're living it in real time. How does that feel to now have both? Thanks so much.
Our champs. Yeah, what a great event and what a great start to the year. Jack Robinson, Molly Picklum, Sakura, and Kanoa Garashi. So, great start. Your thoughts? Any takeaways from that presentation and those speeches?
Yeah, I think the coolest thing was that Jack had one of Andy's boards this morning that Eric had shaped, and he was just sort of rubbing it, thinking, okay, any words, Andy? Can you give me any inspiration? And I just thought that was a really cool takeaway. Obviously, Jack writing the Eric's here, and it all coming to fruition.
What about you, Jesse?
I just was impressed how calm and collected they were. Usually people would be screaming and freaking out, but that just shows, like, eyes on the prize. You know, they're looking at the end of the road, like in September on the finals. Like it was done today, but back to grind tomorrow.
Done today. Have a good time at Lele's, and then back to work tomorrow. And we're going to set everything up. Taking a look at our men's rankings after sunset. John, Florence in yellow going into Portugal. It's been a while. It's actually been since 2021 since John was wearing that yellow leaders jersey. Jack Robinson's going to be right behind him, Jesse.
Yeah, and if you even look from first to fourth, that's basically a one-hit difference right there from quarterfinals on. So it's anyone's game from Jordy to Jordy for the next event who's going to take the yellow jersey. I hope they put in a show for us.
I think so. One name that's missing from this top 10 list, Griffin Colapinto.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
Really good pickup.
Well, the good thing about going into stop number 3 and Griffin Colapinto is TNC Surfboards. Hey, congratulations, Glenn Pang, because it seems like you were the magic carpets for a lot of these surfers at Sunset.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's no surprise. I mean, we had so many surfers on them, and why wouldn't you? I mean, you're in Hawaii. They've tried and tested. These waves are so different to anywhere else on the planet. So, yeah, real dark horse there. But DH taking the win at the moment. 27,000 points. That's a lot. And he's out there in front. But, yeah, and Lost also dropped out of that.
Our top 5 of the day. And do we have top 5 moments? You can't ignore this. Sunset Monsters, cleanup sets, wipeouts, haunted houses, Jesse, trap doors, all out there.
We've seen some crazy ones throughout the whole event. Look at this one from Gabe. Oh, this is the worst for me by far. Like, that was sketchy as it gets. All his weight on the front knee and actually twisting. I thought his knee was gone after that. I'm glad he's okay.
Owie, ouch, ow. Heavy water flick.
Oh, heavy water. It's one thing you can guarantee when you come to Sunset. You're going to see some crazy wipeouts, some long hold downs, and there was no shortage of them at this event. I've got to agree with you that one we saw just before was definitely the worst.
Number 4, he didn't win, but he put on a masterclass. John Florence, the turns that he does out here, incredible flick.
Yeah, he was one of my favorites coming into this event, and obviously injury-free, coming off a second place at Pipe. But this heat right here, a 7.83, and then backed up on the very next wave with just one single turn, an 8.23. we saw a lot of moments like this throughout this contest where the surfers are getting such high scores for that single maneuver. But of course, John's going to be the person to do it.
Number 3, talk about one turn. This was one historic turn, Jesse.
Definitely, like 2 historic moments in the last 3 weeks for this girl right there. First at Pipe and here. That, in my opinion, that's the best turn a woman has ever landed. Mostly in that big of a condition, 10-foot faces, a lot of offshore under her board, and that was incredible.
Number 2, flick for West Oz. Congratulations, Jack Robinson.
I'm sure everyone back home in West Oz is so stoked to see Jack at the win here at a CT level. We obviously know he's won out here before when it was a qualifying series event on his way to the World Tour, but Jack just proving again his comfortability in waves like this, waves of consequence, where it's more watermanship skills, finding barrels like this, straight tucks back up again for a round 2 of little barrel here. He just has a special affinity with this wave, and he was unbeatable today. He just looked like he was totally in the groove.
Beautiful.